Bumblebee. New trailer out now, coming to theaters.
Yeah, R.I.P. Bumblebee. You see what it's coming out against? It ain't gonna survive. It's gonna be DOA.
What is it out against?
Aquaman and Mary Poppins Returns.
Yeah, all right.
It's screwed.
Fair enough. I don't know. Looking at those depictions, G1 Transformers fans might be up for that.
It looks great, but those same fans, Mary Poppins Returns, guaranteed.
Yeah, we'll see. Regardless, a lot of people are pissed at that. But anyway, this is not about that. This is about wrestling. Welcome to another WWE Fantasy Log. I'm James Phoenix. He's Jeff. And this is Hell in a Cell. We're still a week behind for those of you keeping score at home. We're working on it. So we're just going to tear through Hell in a Cell here. Big thanks goes out to Tiff for scoring Hell in a Cell this month. That was a help.
Absolutely.
So that's also, we'll be using her scores for this. So thank you to Tiff for that. We hope that she will have a new headset. We'll be able to have her back on the air soon.
Yeah.
Jeff, mail her a headset. All right.
Cheaper for her to just go buy one.
Anyway, I'm not cheaper for her. Anyway, let's go ahead and do this. All right. There we go. So, as you can see here, still in the lead is Jeff with 1,966 points. And second place is Tiff with 1,649. And in third place is me with 1,443. Excuse me. Over on the leaderboards, Grand Metalik up at the top with 176, just a point ahead of Dolph Ziggler, one half of the Raw Tag Champs. 175, followed at 168 by the other half of the Raw Tag Champs, Drew McIntyre. Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, coming in at 135, followed by Buddy Murphy at 135.
Roman Reigns is at 147.
47, yeah, I just realized that. Thank you. Buddy Murphy at 135. Braun Strowman at 125, Monster Among Men. Charlotte coming in at 110. Dean Ambrose at 109. Finn Balor at 108. And Seth freaking Rollins, the Intercontinental Champion, rounding out the top 10 at 106.
Mm-hmm.
Very close in those lower four there.
Well, Charlotte's about to get hosed, so.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's put these in order and let's see what happened on the pay-per-view. All right, so Hell in a Cell aired back on the 16th of September, a week ago yesterday. Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck.
What's wrong?
Oh, we have a slight problem.
What?
I did not realize this before.
What?
All right, here's what we're going to do.
Okay. Well, what's the problem?
She didn't do the pre-show.
Oh.
So, luckily, the pre-show's only one match. It's the New Day versus Rusev Day.
Yeah, but isn't the pre-show also usually where most of the promos are done?
Sometimes. Yeah, she didn't do that. Let me just make sure it didn't get randomly jammed in later in the show somewhere. No. All right. So here's what we're going to do.
We're going to score it live.
Well, yeah, that's going to be part of it. I was going to say, if you wanted to, I can go ahead and publicly score the opening match while you go back and do the pre-show match real quick. That way we can keep moving forward.
Okay, let me see if I can find results.
I got them right here. Here, I'm just going to give you this whole section.
So I could just make up moves for the superstars then? Because I don't know any of their moves.
Fine, I'll just do it live. All right. So the pre-show opens up with the Jonathan Coachman now hosting the pre-show panel as he has traded jobs with Renee Young. I think it works for him.
Mm-hmm.
The panel features SmackDown General Manager Paige, Legend Booker T, and Pete Rosenberg. The panel discussed a bunch of matches. And then Charlie Caruso interviewed Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose about how the balance of power would change if they captured the tag titles.
So promo to Seth and Dean.
Yep. Rollins points out that nothing would change because Drew and Dolph just realized they never had the power to begin with. So, promo to Seth and Dean. Seth. 11. All right. So after all this, video package on the Hardy Orton feud. Let's see, video package on the AJ Joe feud. Alexa Bliss was interviewed backstage about the women's championship match. She said Ronda has a massive ego and actually believes she's the best at everything. Bliss said those who think she doesn't stand a chance are basing their opinions on SummerSlam, and this event isn't SummerSlam. Otunga tried to ask her a question, and Bliss blew him off by walking off the interview set. So, promo to Alexa.
Fair.
We then go to our pre-show match, the SmackDown Tag Team title match featuring The New Day versus Rusev Day.
Rusev Day. Now in the past.
Yep.
Poor Rusev Day.
Yep. It happens. What you gonna do?
Yep.
And you have a ring. No, right? Okay. Rusev. Okay. That over here and right, and then no over here. Damn it. Okay. So New Day versus Rusev Day.
Mm-hmm.
Big E started off the match with Rusev. Eventually, Kofi and Aiden tagged in. Aiden fought Big E for a while. Then Kofi got tagged in, hit a double stomp. He was holding English up. They were going back and forth for a while. We got near the end of the match, and Aiden English tried to tag in Rusev, who was down on the floor and couldn't be tagged in. He then managed to put Kofi in an accolade. Rusev returned to caught Big E with a kick as he tried to come in to break it, but Kofi fought out of the hold and hit a trouble on Paradise on English and pinned him.
Fair.
So New Day with a retention. So first of all, 5 points each to Xavier Woods and Lana for being there. Nine. Let's see. And actually, in English, should also get 5 for promo because New Day did do a pre-match promo. So I'll get 5 for that. 5 for the accompaniment is 10 for him. And then we've got. All right, Aiden English gets 8 for competing in a pay-per-view, and 1 move is 9 points to Aiden English. And Rusev gets 8 points for competing in a match at a pay-per-view at 4 moves is 12 points to Rusev. With him at 14. On the winner's side, we have Big E, who gets 15 points for being on the winning team. 8 for competing on a pay-per-view is 23. And 6 moves is 29 points to Big E. And then Kofi. And Big E should also get 15 points for retention of the tag titles, by the way. That becomes 59, and 5 is 64 for him. And then Kofi is going to get himself the same 15 points for the retention. 30 for a pay-per-view win is 45. 8 for competing is 53. And 5 moves is 58 points to Kofi. You got that?
Got it.
What did I say, 58?
I thought you said 55. Could be wrong.
All right, and that's 141 for Kofi. Cool. All right, so now we go into the pay-per-view proper.
All right.
Scroll down here. First, the panel discussed the tag title match and the rest of the show. Then Mike Rowe interviewed Mick Foley, but since Foley's not getting any points, it doesn't matter.
Fair.
Because he's a one pay-per-view wonder. Most likely.
Mm-hmm.
And then Corbin showed up, asked Foley if he was up for the match. Foley offered him general manager advice, but Corbin cut him off, said he would let his performance speak for itself.
Okay, then.
Yep. And then we go to the opening match of the pay-per-view itself, which was Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell. What did you think of this match?
I didn't actually see Hell in a Cell. I just saw the end of the main event.
Well, you fucking fail then.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, you fail. Failure.
Or at least to meet your criteria of this is going to be a quick video.
That is true. I will give you that. Get over there. All right. So I didn't see this match either because I got home late for the pay-per-view.
All right.
But it sounds like they pretty much went at each other. There's a lot of weapons usage. Highlights of the match include Randy Orton sticking a screwdriver through Jeff Hardy's ear hole and then twisting it.
Yeah, because that's apparently his gimmick now.
Yep. Jeff with a swanton bomb onto Orton with a chair on him. There's a point where Jeff climbed up and Jeff tried to he climbed up a smaller ladder to get onto a bigger ladder, which is kind of unnecessary. He could have just climbed the big ladder. And
it's Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, well, Orton was across the table, and Jeff went to do this, but realized he didn't have jump height because cage.
Whoops.
So instead, Hardy grabbed onto the top of the cage and kind of monkey barred himself across the top of the cage, and then dropped down to put Orton through the table, but Orton rolled out of the way, and Jeff put himself through the table.
Good job.
Now, this was pretty much the end of Jeff Hardy, and despite the medics coming into the cell and checking on him, Randy Orton pushed him aside and laid atop of him and demanded that the ref count a 3 count. And the ref did so. So, Randy Orton with a victory in the cell match.
So is that an OMG to Jeff Hardy for putting himself through the table?
I was debating it.
I think that's what we've done in the past.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, all right then. So let's see here.
Indeed.
So Jeff Hardy gets 8 for a pay-per-view match, 3 for participating in a specialty match. 3. By the way, for the folks at home, we're instituting a couple of new rules starting with this pay-per-view. Number 1, 3 points will now be awarded for weapon use for each weapon used, not just overall for a match. Although it will not count if the weapon is used multiple times; it'll still only be once. We're also adding botch points. A small botch will result in a subtraction of 3 points. A larger botch, a subtraction of 4. These will likely be determined subjectively. We will deal with them as they come up. So we have Jeff Hardy, who gets 8 for a pay-per-view match, 3 for a specialty, 3 for weapon use with a table, 3 for weapon use with a ladder. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He actually hit him with the table?
It says weapon use table. I'm going to award it. I don't feel like questioning it right now.
Okay, because I know usually it's if a table is used, it's usually putting him through a table, which would constitute an OMG. Well, but okay.
Anyway, so we had 2 drop kicks, a double leg drop, an atomic drop, a forearm, and a whisper in the wind. 3 for weapon use of a belt. 3 more for weapon use of a chair, a twist of fate, a swanton bomb, and another twist of fate. All and plus 5 for the table OMG. Will bring Jeff to 36 points for the evening.
You did add the OMG. I heard OMG in there.
Yep.
Fair enough.
We'll put him at 99. Randy Orton is going to get 8 for being in a pay-per-view match, 3 for a specialty, 30 for a win in a pay-per-view. Let's see, 1 for a clothesline, 3 for using a chair, 1 for a superplex, 3 for avoiding a suplex, 3 for using a ladder, 3 for using a belt, 3 for countering a whisper in the wind, 1 for a power slam, 3 for weapon use with a screwdriver to the ear, 1 for the draping DDT, and 10 for a specialty win. Brings his total up to 72. $92 and 4 is 96. All right. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So following this match, the cell gets raised back up. Jeff gets taken out on a stretcher. Orton poses briefly and then it limps to the back. AJ does a brief interview where he talks about Joe talking about his wife and young child, saying that he can't wait until the match tonight and that this is the house that AJ Styles built. Promo to AJ.
All right, then.
We see video footage outside in San Antonio. We got a video package about the upcoming women's title match here. And then we go to the SmackDown women's title match between Charlotte and Becky.
That was the second match out the gate, huh?
Yep.
Okay,
so then. They had a good back and forth match. There was some fighting out to the apron, trading of shots. Charlotte got slammed shoulder first into the apron and was pretty much selling the shoulder for the rest of the match. Charlotte managed to reverse a disarm her into a power bomb. Will reverse the attempt at the submission hold, I should say. Becky recovers and looks for it again. This time locks it in. Charlotte struggles and finally grabs the bottom rope. Both women get to their feet. Charlotte fights back with some elbows and runs the ropes looking for a spear, but Becky catches her in a roll-up instead.
Okay, then.
Thus, your new women's champion, Becky Lynch. Charlotte tried to shake Becky's hand after the match, and Becky Wood declined and walked off.
All right,
so
then.
Charlotte gets 8 for a pay-per-view match. Oh, she did this here too. Okay.
Problems?
She was copy pasting the basics, and she didn't remove specialty matches for the non-specialty matches.
Oops.
It happens. It's only 3 points. So 8 for a pay-per-view match, 1 for a leg bar, 1 for a knee drop, 1 for a belly-to-back suplex, 1 for a big boot, 1 for a sit-out powerbomb, 1 for a Boston Crab submission hold, 3 for escaping the disarm her the first time, and 1 for a spear. Should be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. Yes, 18 points to, wait, 18? Hang on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait, what? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I guess it was off by 1. All right, well, 18 points to Charlotte.
Okay, then.
All right. 28. All right, we then have Becky. And Becky gets 50 for the title win, 30 for the pay-per-view win, 8 for a pay-per-view match, 3 for a... no, it's not a specialty. Take that 3 out. So anyway, 50 for the title, 30 for the pay-per-view win, 8 for a pay-per-view match, 88 plus an armbar, a hammerlock, a clothesline, an arm wringer, a reverse DDT, and there should be 1 there for the disarm her that wasn't mentioned, unless that's what she's calling the hammerlock.
No idea.
Is the disarmer a hammerlock?
No, it's an armbar.
Okay.
Hence why it's called the disarm her.
Gotcha. Then just add an extra move point in there. So therefore, that's 80, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, and 94 points to Becky Lynch. $94, 104, 114, and 8 is 122. Bam. The New Day is backstage for a brief segment where they discuss their win earlier in the night, and Kofi appears as Kramer Kingsman again.
They're really trying to push that gimmick, aren't they?
They are. It's a shtick now. Kramer Kingsman here. Anyway, promo to the New Day.
Okay, then.
$146. And Xavier goes to 115. Okay. After this, we go to the Raw Tag Team title match of Dragler versus Ambrose and Rollins. And these guys put on a clinic. These guys had a great match. Well, the whole thing ended ironically with Drew McIntyre doing all the work. As Drew knocked Ambrose down and then hit a flying clothesline, Ziggler and Rollins fought up onto the turnbuckle, and Rollins hit a superplex. But when he went for the Falcon Arrow and lifted Dolph into the air, Drew kicked him in the face with a Claymore kick before he could execute it. And as Rollins went down with the Claymore kick, Drew, who was pretty much just completely out, landed on top of him, and the ref counted 3.
Fair.
So Drigler with the retention. And given that those are your guys and it's tanked out of retention, why do you sound so sad about that?
I'm not sad. I just said fair.
No, normally you'd be all excited that you got a bunch of points. What the fuck are you doing?
I am excited that I got a bunch of points.
Pay attention to the damn program.
I am.
Bullshit, I can hear you typing.
Excuse me that I'm trying to actually do some work while we're doing the program.
Program takes precedence.
Says the man who bitched at me to do this work.
I did bitch you. I bitched you to do it not during the recordings.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ambrose and Rollins. We'll start off with those guys.
Yep.
All right, Dean gets 8 for a pay-per-view match. Again, this is not a specialty match, Tiff. Thought I fixed all this. Yes, not.
You thought wrong.
Pretty much. All right, so we'll just take that right out of there. And we'll take this right out of here. Make that even there. And this out of here. And reverse it for Drew. Okay. So Dean gets 8 points for being in a pay-per-view match. 1 for a drop kick. 1 for a magistral cradle, whatever that is. 1 for a running clothesline. 1 for a neck breaker. And 1 for a suicide dive. It's 13 points to Dean Ambrose. At 127. And the top 10.
And the top 10.
Seth gets 8 for the for a pay-per-view match. Sling Blade, Jawbreaker, belly-to-back suplex, another Jawbreaker, another belly-to-back suplex, Blockbuster, Suicide Dive, Falcon Arrow, Buckle Bomb, Super Kick, Frog Splash, and a Superplex. Gives Seth 20 points.
Fair.
Damn it. 131. And the top 10. Meanwhile, the retaining champions. Dolph gets 30 for winning the match. 15 for a title retention. 8 for a pay-per-view match. 1 for a jumping DDT. 1 for an elbow drop. 1 for a sleeper hold. And 1 for a zigzag. Is 57. Well, I probably should have done Drew first, but oh well. 57 points to Dolph.
Fair. Yes, you probably should have done Drew first.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Well, by the order that Tiff had them, so.
Right.
What's Dolph Ziggler at 232? Drew gets 15 for being on the winning team, 15 for the tag retention, 8 for the pay-per-view, a clothesline, a reverse Alabama slam, another clothesline, and a Claymore kick. Is 42 points to Drew. 42 makes that 210. All right. We follow this match with Mick Foley approaching Braun Strowman in the locker room. He warns Braun that the cell will change you and that Braun has to respect his authority out there tonight. Braun says all Foley needs to do is count to 3 tonight and hand him his Universal title belt because Foley doesn't want to have a monster problem. Promo to Braun.
Braun!
Yeah, pretty much. That's 130. All right. Next up, we have a replay of the Joe reading Night Night AJ story, and then the WWE Championship match of AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. And oh no, yeah, this wasn't a specialty, right? It was just a regular match.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think they had a specialty because the specialty one is coming up in the next pay-per-view, if I recall correctly.
Let's see.
All right. All right, take specialty out of there.
Yeah, it looks like it was just a normal match.
That's what I thought. Okay. In that case, Samoa Joe lost this match.
Right.
He did so after managing to lock in the Coquina clutch, but AJ powered out of it and rolled backward and landed on top of Joe, and the ref counted the 3 count, as this was a pinfall predicament. However, it was clearly shown on the footage afterward that AJ actually tapped out at the 2 count, but the ref was on the other side of them and could not see the tap out.
Mm-hmm.
So at any rate,
the feud continues.
Yeah, Joe protested it after the call, and they went to the replays and showed that he was right. But anyway, Samoa Joe is going to get 8 points for pay-per-view match. A running boot, a leg sweep, a jumping kick, a suicide dive, a powerbomb, a Boston Crab, an STF, an Enziguri kick, and the Coquina clutch for 17 points to Joe.
There. And yay.
That's 34, and 7 is 41. We then go to AJ. AJ is going to get himself 30 for winning in a pay-per-view, 25 for retention of his title. Wait. Why do I have this added in here then? How the hell did that happen? All right, we'll get rid of that. I know what happened. Okay. Get rid of that. Anyway, 30 for a victory, 25 for title retention, 8 for the match, drop kick, running knee, forearm, corner clothesline, running forearm, reverse DDT, spinning powerbomb, springboard 450, escaping 3 for escaping a muscle buster, a Pele kick, for a grand total of 75 points to AJ Styles.
Woo!
Really, AJ only had 31 points up to this point? Wow.
Not like he's really had a match. He's had like true. One match.
So 75 is 106 for AJ. All right, next, Miz and Maurice do a brief interview in the back. We then go to a video package setting up that feud. So a promo to Miz and Maurice.
You mean Miz and Mrs.?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's officially what I'm calling their mixed tag team. I'm calling them Miz and Mrs.
If you're talking about the Mrs. Mixed Tag Team, then you got to call it Asuka.
Well, this mixed tag team.
Yeah. Anyway, and then the Miz is going to get 5 points. And he puts this at 73. We then go to the next tag match of the Miz and Maurice versus Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
And Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella lose. Yes, as shenanigans occur outside the ring. And Maurice and Brie end up in a series of back and forth roll-up predicaments. And Maurice ends up managing to get the 3 count out of one of them. After Brie pushed Maurice into the Miz, who fell down to ringside with Bryan.
Fair.
So, Bryan and Brie. And also, for being a mixed tag, this is a specialty.
Fair.
We are counting it as such. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So, Brie Bella is going to have 8 for a pay-per-view match, 3 for a specialty participation, 1 for a drop kick, missile drop kick, and a yes kick for 14 points to Brie Bella.
Fair.
All right.
All right.
Daniel Bryan. 8 for the match, 3 for specialty. Hurricanrana, running corner drop kick, back body drop, clothesline, and the yes kicks for 16 points to Daniel Bryan.
Fair.
Becomes, let's see, that was 87, it was 97. Next, we go to Miz.
Miz.
That's a 15 for being on the winning team, 8 for a pay-per-view match, 3 for specialty, 1 for a kick, 3 for an escape of the S-lock, 2 for corner drop kicks, 1 for the backbreaker, 1 for the neckbreaker, and 1 for the world-famous It kicks.
Right.
For 35 points to The Miz.
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 Fair enough.
Which will be 108 for The Miz. Maurice won the match, so she gets 30 for that. 10 for winning a specialty match is 40. She gets 8 for competing in the match. It's 48. 3 for being in a specialty match is 51. And that's all she gets because Maurice did no moves.
Fair.
51 points to Maurice is 110. All right. So after this, they retreat up the ramp. We see a replay of Jeff Hardy's match from earlier. And Michael Cole informs us from the table that Jeff Hardy has been taken to a local medical facility and is being monitored.
Uh-huh.
Yep. We then go to the Raw Women's title match between Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss. Natalya, Mickey, and Alicia are all at ringside for this.
Okay, then.
As one would expect.
Indeed.
So, we start this off here. Mickey and Alicia will each get accompaniment and interference.
Right.
For a grand total of 11 points to each of them. Ian puts Alicia at 28. And 11 to Mickey. We'll put her at 26. Natalya will also get the same points, as well as 1 point for a suplex. It's 12 points to Natalya. That's her at 78. Then we go to the participants. Ronda retained her title in this match, as was expected.
Right.
So, Alexa Bliss
gets an injury. I mean,
well, she gets 8 points for being in the match. Abdominal stretch, drop kick, another abdominal stretch, another drop kick, and a crossbody block. It's 13 points to Alexa.
There's
66. And Ronda gets 30 for a pay-per-view win, 25 for a title retention, 8 for being in a pay-per-view match, 1 for a belly-to-belly suplex, cross-body block, a powerbomb, a twisting Samoan drop, and of course the armbar. Gives Ronda Rousey a total of 68 points.
Okay.
Which is, let's see, it's 68 is 110, 118, 122, 122. All right. We go backstage where Samoa Joe is berating the shit out of the referee from his match for making what he believes is a poor call.
Okay.
And he says the referee should be fired for missing AJ tapping out, but Paige walks up and Joe freaks out at her. Paige says the referee's decision is final, but Joe will get a rematch in 3 weeks at the WWE Super Showdown. Joe says that's ridiculous and he should be champion right now, not arguing with Paige. Joe says he wants no more excuses and wants AJ with no rules, no count out, no disqualifications. There must be a winner, and Paige agrees to the stipulation.
Okay, then.
Promo to Joe.
Fair.
Fair indeed. Samoa Joe. All right. Then we see a video package looking at the history of the main event feud. And then we go to our main event for the evening. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship inside Hell. In a cell. Yeah, that. So this match was a clusterfuck.
Also, so much for the rules of Hell in a Cell. Apparently they mean fucking nothing.
Yeah. Well, it's Hell in a Cell. There are no rules.
Well, apparently there are because of the finish.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently the one rule of there are no rules apparently went out the window, and they had rules. Because how do you have a no contest in a no rules match?
When both the participants in the no rules match are deemed unable to continue.
Yeah, I still call kind of bullshit on that.
Well, referee's decision is final.
There.
All right. So Roman and Braun went at each other. There were slams in the corners, slams into the cell, crashed into the ring post, DDT on a folding chair on Braun for a 2. Couple Superman punches. Braun reverses another for a choke slam. More throwing of finishers back and forth. Braun hits Roman with the steps a few times, then sets up a table in the corner. Roman spears Braun through that table. Dolph and Drew then run down to ringside and demand to be let in the cage, but the refs refuse. Said that Dean then run out and begin brawling with Dolph and Drew around the outside of the cage. They beat over to the front of the announcers' tables and rip a couple of them apart. Drew then drops Rollins as Ambrose and Ambrose as Ziggler gets to his feet, and they continue to brawl around ringside. Ziggler climbs up the cage to get away, and Rollins follows. Rollins and Ziggler fight on the roof until McIntyre climbs up, and they double team Rollins. Then Ambrose climbs up with a kendo stick in a sheath on his back. I don't think
it was in a sheath. I think it was just strapped, like it was like an over-the-shoulder strap.
Either way, it was attached to his person.
Yes.
Which was clever. Anyway, he got up.
Ambrose.
Yeah. Anyway, he got up there. They all beat each other up on top of the cell for a while. Eventually, Ziggler tried to escape by climbing down. Rollins went after him. He caught up to him about 1 cage square down from the top. They fought each other for a while. They slammed each other's faces into the cage, and they both fell off the side of the cage through 2 announce tables.
OMGs all around.
OMGs for both. Meanwhile, Brock Lesnar's music hits. He walks out with Paul Heyman, and he demands to be let in the cage. The officials refuse, so Paul Heyman sprays them in the face with pepper spray.
Also, apparently, Farm Boy decided to grow a beard. What's up with that?
He did. He went visual. Braun then proceeds to kick the door off the fucking cell.
You know what I love, too? I don't know if you noticed it.
What?
I only noticed this because I remembered you mentioning that they changed what the cell was made of, that they sprayed it with, like, liquid rubber.
I didn't say that.
I thought you said they made it, they made the bars more of like a rubber material.
Oh.
I noticed that the cell door bounced. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And it's because they sprayed it with rubber. You said that's why they made it red, was because it was like a liquid rubber type thing.
I never said that.
I could have swore you said that because you're the only person I would talk to this about. And I distinctly remember you mentioning there's a reason why the cell is red. And I was like, really?
Was not me, dude.
Really?
I didn't even know that until you just said it.
Huh, where did I hear that? Because I heard that from somewhere that the reason that the Hell in a Cell was red this year is because they either sprayed it with like a liquid rubber, or it's a different type of material where it's more rubber, so it's a little bit safer. And also that they I think they might have made it bigger, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's why they made it red.
Okay.
I'm like,
anyway.
Oh. But yeah, I noticed it bounced, and I was like, it bounced. Also, shitty chain. What the fuck?
Yeah. So anyway,
Brock kicks the weakest link. Goodbye.
Yeah. Anyway, Brock kicks the door down, marches into the cell, and beats the shit out of both competitors. Yet somehow, despite it laying practically in the ring, Brock does not F5 anybody on the door.
What's up? You noticed he tried to lane it up in the corner and fucked up? It kind of fell.
Yeah. Anyway.
Also, how was Paul Heyman not immediately arrested for macing a ref?
I don't know. You would think. But anyway, so he picks up Braun Strowman and hits him with an F5. Picks up Reigns and hits him with an F5. Onto Braun. This was after beating both of them down with pieces of the broken table, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And basically just leaves them both lying there, and a new referee gets in the ring, checks on both men, and then rules it a no contest due to neither man being able to continue the match.
And the fans immediately turned on the WWE, and they immediately cut the feed.
Yeah, pretty much.
And apparently, after the match, according to people who were there, they said that the entire arena immediately went into a massive roaring chant of "This is bullshit.
Huh.
This is bullshit."
Fair enough.
That's why we never did discover what happened to Ninja Dean Ambrose and his war with the Scotsman.
Mm.
That, as people pointed out, they were left atop the cell, and no one who was not in attendance knew what happened to them. As far as they're concerned, those two are still on top of that cell.
Mm-hmm.
Up until Raw, of course, where they actually showed up.
Yeah. Anyway.
Also, I'd also like to point out, I don't like the new material of the cell at all.
Fair.
And I think it's actually not safer for one reason.
Okay.
You saw this match, right?
Yes.
You saw when the four men were standing on top of the cell.
Yeah, and it looked like it was bending, like it was just going to break under their weight alone.
Yes. I was like, that does not look safe. And I think it was bending because they made it more of like a rubbery material, so it would be like safer on the impact and stuff. But it's like, that's all well and good, but you do realize that making it something soft and pliable like rubber compromises the integrity and the hardiness of the material, which means if you try to put any fucking weight on it, it's just going to bend and potentially snap if you put enough weight on it.
Well, realize it's not just rubber. I think it was still the metal cell. They just coated the thing with rubber.
Right, but it made it a little more pliable. It looks bad because I'm just like, oh my god, because you could tell they were struggling to actually stand on it because they had so much give.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's terrible. Bring back the old cell, because at least the old cell, even though that also had give because it was mesh metal, it was straight up metal, so it could actually hold their weight, and they didn't struggle to actually walk around on top of it.
They did it to make it accurate to the 2K19 cell match where you can put people through more parts of the top of it now.
Apparently, but God, that just looks so precarious. I'm like, if I was a WWE superstar, I would not want to be on top of that cell anymore because I'd be like, I don't know if I'm going to take a step and just fall straight the fuck through.
Yeah.
It looks really scary. I'm like, no. It looks less safe. Good job, WWE.
Well, yeah, but in all fairness, there was going to be given no matter what. You had 4 dudes who average about 250 a pop. So, yeah, you had like 1,000 pounds of weight on that one square. It was going to give a little bit.
I suppose. But I mean, you saw even when they were just walking around, it was just that one person on that one square. I'm like, oh, that looks not good. The old cell did not have that kind of give.
Yeah.
But it sure looked good when Brock kicked the door in and it just bounced off the ring.
Yeah.
Also, crappy hinge, too.
Yeah, well. Anyway.
Yeah. So, score the shit fest.
Yes, we'll go crazy with this no contest. Let's see here. So let me see what Tiff has got for this. All right, many things. She did know 10 points to Foley for refereeing, but we're not going to bother with that.
There.
We'll do everybody else. Let's see. Paul Heyman gets, I don't know. She gave him a company because he technically did accompany Brock to the ring and he just wasn't in the match.
But accompanying only applies to people who are in the match.
All right, so
I would say Paul Heyman. I would say Paul Heyman gets assault with a weapon on the ref.
Okay, yeah, so I was at least going to get the weapon. All right, 4 for an assault, 3 for pepper spray use.
No assault, just the pepper spray use. He didn't actually hurt anyone. He just pepper sprayed him. That was it, and yelled at him.
Pepper spray does hurt people.
It does, but we never give points for only one move.
Fine.
That's only one
probably
move.
should at least get 3 for appearing on the program.
Well, he gets 3 for macing the ref.
I was saying he should get 6, but whatever. I'm not gonna.
All right, give him 6.
All right. That's 11. All right. Brock Lesnar.
Actually, no. You know what?
What?
He gets more than that. He does not get 3 for appearing in the program. You know what he gets?
What?
He gets 3 for macing the ref and 6 for interfering in the main event.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So he gets another 3. So he's actually at 14. Cool.
Yeah. So he should get 9 points total.
Yep, that's about right. All right, it's Bork Laser. Let's see here. Bork Laser is going to get 6 for interfering in this match. He's going to get 5 for an OMG for kicking the door off.
Okay.
That's 11. 3 for using the broken table as a weapon.
I mean, the door that was clearly not bolted to the cage.
Yes, that door. Anyway, so that's, let's see. 6 for the interference, 5 for the OMG is 11, 3 for using the broken table as a weapon is 14. 2 F5s is 16. And Tiff gave Brock an OMG for picking up Braun Strowman. I don't know.
No, it's Bork Laser. He should be able to pick up anyone on the roster.
Okay.
It'd be like giving John Cena an OMG for picking up the Big Show. We just don't do that.
Fair enough. And in that case, 14 points to Bork Laser.
Now, here's a question.
Yeah.
Would Bork Laser get any kind of extra points for F5ing Roman Reigns on top of Braun Strowman?
That's a good question. I don't know. The only way that would work is if you count it as using Roman Reigns as a weapon against Braun Strowman. That's the only way that counts.
Then I would say give him a foreign object use points for using Roman Reigns as a weapon. I guess.
I'm not even going to worry about it because I have Brock.
Fair.
We're just not going to worry about that. All right. We are going to give, let's see. Dolph Ziggler gets 6 for an interference and 1 for a super kick at 7. And an OMG for going through an announce table. It's 12 points to Dolph. That'll put him at 244.
You mean an OMG for putting Seth through an announcer's table?
Whatever. They're both getting OMGs for both going through a table. How you divide it is up to you.
Uh-huh.
And then we got Drew gets 6 for interference and 1 for a clothesline at 7. And then we got Seth, who gets 6 for interference, 1 for a super kick at 7. And then the OMG 5 is 12 points to Seth. $43, 143. And Dean is going to get himself 6 for an interference, 1 for a clothesline is 7, and 3 for weapon use with a kendo stick is 10 points to Dean.
Dean.
Yep. 137 for Dean. Then finally, the actual match participants. Braun Strowman is going to get 8 points for being in a pay-per-view match, 3 points for being in a specialty match, 4 points for being in the main event, 5 points for being a no contest, a shoulder tackle, 2 choke slams, a big boot, 3 for using the steel steps as a weapon, and 1 for a running power slam. Will be 28 points to Braun Strowman.
Okay, then.
He's 158. All right. And then we got Roman. Roman is going to get himself 25 points for a retention of his championship. First of all, which I don't believe were included here. 16, 20, yeah, we're going to have to add that in there then. So that's 25 for a retention of the title. $25 for retention of the Universal title. 8 points for being in a pay-per-view match. 3 for being in a specialty match. 5 for it being a no contest. 4 for it being in the main event. We still give main event win, right?
For the no contest?
Yeah, for no contest. The main event win and the specialty win.
No, because no one won the match. It was a no contest. We didn't have a winner.
I guess that's true. All right. Fair enough. In that case, 25 for the retention, 8 for a pay-per-view, 3 for a specialty match participant, 5 for a no contest, 4 for it being a main event, clothesline, leaping clothesline, drive-by, weapon use of a kendo stick, weapon use of a chair, a DDT, 3 Superman punches, 1 spear, and 59 points to Roman Reigns.
Fuck you, Roman.
Clap, 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 clap.
Anyone but you, Roman.
59 plus the 147 puts Roman at 206.
206 live?
206 live. And thus, bodies are laying everywhere as Hell in a Cell goes off the air.
Very, very quickly, so no one at home hears that this is bullshit.
Pretty much. All right, let's go to the scores.
Let's.
That I'm sure are just going to be horrible for me.
No, you had the majority of the main event.
Which ended in a no contest.
True.
You had a tag title retention.
You also had a tag title retention. What's your point?
Fair. Anyway, yeah, still in the lead at 23-06.
Oh, no, you don't have her. Fuck!
What?
Oh, God. Tiff is going to blow me out the water with this one, isn't she?
No, you're still in the lead.
How? She got a new champion.
You were far enough in the lead, it did not matter.
Wow. Okay, that's surprising.
Well, you got to realize, going into this show, you were already about 300 points ahead of her.
Fair.
As of right now, you're still just a little over 300 points ahead of her. So, the spread might have increased by about 20 to 30 points. But anyway, you are in the lead at 23-07, the Extremely Legit Yes Movement. In second place at 1973 are the Rowdy Lass Kickers. And in third at 1794 is the Big Dogs Club.
Fair. Shall we look at the...
Can I write the scores down first?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, what the hell was it? It was the 16th, right? Yeah. All right. So let's go to the leaderboards. I already know where this is going. That's about what I thought. So top of the leaderboards with a good lead is Dolph Ziggler.
Woo!
With 244 points.
Damn, son.
Indeed. He is on in second place by his tag team partner, the other half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, Drew McIntyre, at 217 points. Following him is the big dog Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, with 206 points. After that is Grand Metalik at 176 points, which is impressive considering he wasn't at the pay-per-view. The Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, coming in at 158 off of the main event showing, followed by Kofi Kingston off of the SmackDown Tag Title retention for the New Day at 146, followed by Seth freaking Rollins at 143, Dean Ambrose coming in at 137, Buddy Murphy hanging in there at 135, and wow, that's a bitch slap. What?
Why do you say it's a bitch slap?
Oh, you're not looking at it?
I am looking at it.
Because despite losing the title, Charlotte maintains a spot in the top 10 at 128, 6 points ahead of Becky.
That's just how many points Charlotte had above Becky to begin with.
Yeah.
Also, Seth Rollins is about to skyrocket because did he not have a successful title defense this last week?
I believe so.
And Buddy Murphy is probably going to skyrocket because at the next pay-per-view, he's probably going to become your new Cruiserweight champion.
He might. We'll see. Also, interesting note, by the way, at positions 11 and 12, the SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch and the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey have exactly the same number of points, 122. So that's kind of fun.
Fair.
Following that is a tie between Brie Bella and Xavier Woods for 115.
Fair.
So there's your program, folks.
There's your program.
We will pick that up next time, where we will try to catch up on the weekly shit, hopefully sometime this week.
Indeed.
Till then, Jeff, thanks for being here. Tiff, thank you for the scores. Greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And we will see you next time, people.